Good morning, everyone. Today is Friday, finally, Friday, June 6th. And today we will cover the trades for YieldMax funds, TSLY, CONY, NVIDIA, MSTY, SMCY, and P to the L to the T to the Y. But before that, I would like to give a shout out, to one of my friends who created a YouTube not that long ago. He actually went viral early on, and he did get up to 1,300 subscribers. But his views, they're pretty weak sauce here. So I figured I'd give him a shout out so we can help him out. Give him some views. Go check out his channel. It's called Patriot Defense Company. It's about gun safety. He's now certified firearms instructor. If this is something that interests you, go watch one of his videos. Go comment down below. Go mess with him. I've known him for over 30 years. So good dude. So he deserves, some love this morning. So shout out to PDC. All right. So, by the way, I'm live only because, I'll put the link to his YouTube in the comments. It's not letting me now, but I'll do it after this video if I remember. But the reason I'm going live, I don't know, Google Sheets froze up on me. I was like halfway through my video this morning. It froze up on me, so I didn't have time to redo the phone video. So that is why we are here, because it's live or nothing. All right, so let's get to it. So who had trades yesterday? Everyone had trades. If you look, TSLY had a whole bunch of trades. Good Lord. NVIDIA, yep. Who else? CONY, yep. Let's see. Look at MSTY's. From row 157. Oh, if I knew how to scroll on this stupid thing. To row 198. So that being said, let's take a pause. And if you enjoy this content, please hit the like button. Again, Friday morning videos, they're just as busy as the Saturday morning videos, because Thursday trades are very active because they start to prep and close out the weekly trades on the Thursday. Then obviously they finish off on the Friday. So for those of you that are live, I appreciate it. I do see the comments, but I will get to comments at the end of the video for the sake of people watching after the live. Obviously, they'll probably want to get through it quicker than, don't want to drag this on. That's the point. All right, SMCY had trades and PLTY had trades. All right, so let's just go back to MSTY real quick. Obviously, a lot of action. There would have been a lot of action even if Elon and Trump didn't fight. I'm sure they would have closed out a bunch of trades. But they closed out, it looks like, a lot of their synthetics, the 420, all of the 420, some of the 370. I'm sorry, some of the 390, and they moved it to the 370. They also closed out some weekly trades. By the way, I'm trying to keep my voice somewhat down because my three-year-old who is right above me is still sleeping. So hopefully I don't wake him up. But he got up at midnight last night. Isn't that great? All right, so needless to say, they closed out a lot of trades and they opened new ones for next week. So we'll just go to the file and show you what that looks like. So real quick, for those of you that are live, if you don't mind confirming, again, this is 150% Zoom. So usually it's good enough. But if you need me to zoom in anymore, feel free to let me know. All right, so here's the synthetic 390. So they did close out some of those shares for yesterday. Yesterday was June 5th. They removed 26,850 and 4,925 contracts from that position, and they moved it to the 370. The 420 is actually now closed completely. So if you look, they did remove the remaining 7,350. So what I'm going to do, since we're done now with this tab, we can now hide it. We'll hide the sheet. Obviously, you don't want to delete it. If you delete it, the formula goes away, and then it screws up your whole calculation. All right, so let's go to the synthetic 370. This one here is the July 18th one. This is the one where they added all of the, the contracts to. Thank you, Darren, for confirming that. All right. Sorry, I didn't want to click that. Oh, thank you, brother, as well. All right. What do we got here? So they added 7,350, 26,850, 700, and 4,925 contracts to the 370 that expires July 18th. The other 370 that expires July 11th was untouched. So eventually, clearly, they're just moving everything to the 370 because, it's obviously further expiration because, this 390 expires when, like, pretty soon. What happened here? Come on. June 20th. So they'll eventually close that out and move it to the 370s. All right, on to the weeklies tab. Sorry about that. All right, let's keep going here. How did MSTR do yesterday? Well, between all that fun yesterday, MSTR went down 2.46%. MSTY went down 8.65%. So again, yesterday was ex-dividend date. So obviously MSTY was dropping anyway by the amount of the distro. But since MSTR decided to drop as well, we'll call it double discount, right? Double discount day for MSTY. Now, as far as the IV, again, after yesterday, you would think the IV would have skyrocketed. But yesterday was 54.47%. It jumped this morning to 55.48. That's a 1% increase. So that's nothing too exciting. But maybe after today, again, this is a 30-day IV average, I believe. So I don't know. We'll see what it looks like. All right. Now, time to cover the trades that they closed. All right. So yesterday, again, they closed a bunch of trades that expire today, June 6th. Sorry, I'm just finishing off my coffee, trying to wake up here. They closed the 400 strike, the 400 strike, the 400 strike, the 392.50, and all the three, this is the strike price, column K. And every strike that they had, that they closed, was well above the price of MSTR of 368. That basically means that they won the trade. It means they paid, because again, they eventually have to pay to close these in order to open new positions. So what it means is they paid a lesser amount than the credit that they got when they opened the position. When they opened this position, for example, they got a 428 credit per share. They only paid 63 cents to close it. So obviously this netted in a profit of 182,500. The next one down, 342,000. The next one after that, 104,000. The 392.50 over here, 848,000. Moving along, again, anything in gray, that just means we covered it previously, so no need to talk about it again. And then you got this little batch here, a batch of 2,000 contracts. These are 390, again, well above the MSTR price, so very cheap to close. They paid 49 cents to close these positions, and they made various amounts, right? If you highlight the this total here, they made about 3.9 million for all those yellows. And then there's 392.50 right here, 392.50. They made another 670,000, and then 791,000. And yes, happy payment day, happy MSTY payment day, everyone. Moving along, let's see how many people we got here. We got 95 people. I know I'm earlier than my norm, so I'm sure people won't be happy about that. But again, unexpected issue. I can't start at 6:30 if I'm live because I try to start work by 7. All right, so what do we got here? 392.50, a 390. Again, winners. 781,000 profit, 862,000 profit. And yeah, good morning, everyone. Good morning, LA. What else? Let's keep going. All right, we got 2,000 contract, another 2,000 contract party. This is a 390. Overall, again, how much did they make? 3.9 million on those contracts. All right, moving down. And then right here, 45 cents to close the, what is this, 387.50. That's a $1.5 million profit. And then down here, again, I saw this before. I don't know why. And I highlight these. What's the total? 3,994. 400. Yeah. Do I have any other orange highlights? No. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Let's see if I highlight all these. Again, the reason I highlight things is because the bulk of them add up to something on the other file. So we had 5,800. Where the heck did Misty go? I really hate this. There you go. Look for 5,800. Yeah, 5,800, 400 strike, 0.63. All right, so yeah, I think I missed that. So let me add that now. There's just so many trades yesterday. All right, so anyway, I mean, the moral of the story is they won every trade. All right, I don't need to go through every single damn number, but you know they won their trades. All right, and then they open new ones. So anything from 6.5 down, these are the new trades, right? Individually, I add them line by line by line by line by line by line by line, right? Because how else can you track this crap, right? So obviously there is a lot of activity. Why do they have so many lines? Again, they use various, we'll call them clearing houses, clearing companies, clearing something, right? Various companies to do the trades with. They have, I believe, a total of 4. So they, get the best price wherever, they choose. So if you see like, 2,500, here's 3 times. So obviously they did the same, well, almost the same trade on all 3 platforms. I don't know. That's what I'm guessing. Definitely going to be taking a bathroom break on this video. All right, so let's keep going. Outstanding shares, did they have an increase? Yep, of course they did. 2 million increase in outstanding shares. Recap for this file. Misty ended up closing at $20.27. MSTR, they closed at 368.79. 30-day IV is at 55.48%. Outstanding shares, 223,875,000. Total net income, if this is a credit, that's a good thing. That means they're making money. They're making bank, bruh. $12 million. Distribution, that comes to about 6 cents per share so far. Daily income, about a penny a day. Daily yield, 0.07%. And if you annualize that sucker, 25%. Is that good? Well, not really, but hey, we'll take it. All right. Now, this tab, the MSTR funds tab, what we do here is we look to see if MSTR bought more Bitcoin. I actually haven't checked it. Usually people kind of tell me, or I see it posted somewhere. I didn't check. I doubt they added it already. But as of the last check, they have 580,955 Bitcoin. We also track the change in price of MSTR and all of the competitors. So as mentioned, MSTR, they went down 2.46% yesterday. MSTY went down more than this number, but of course, we want to add back the distribution. If we're going to do a fair comparison, we can't, not exclude the drop from the ex-dividend date. So taking that out, MSTY overall went down 2.02%. Same thing with Winter. Again, they had a distribution as well. So taking that out, they actually went up 1.68%. Again, as they should, inverse fund. IMST, they went down 1.7%. MST, they went down 4.71%. And then newest fund here, MS2, or MIS2, or whatever we're going to call it. I don't know. You guys decide. They went down 2.82%. I did not get to update this formula. I saw someone try to help me, but again, there's 4 soon to be 5 funds that we need basically to produce, the greatest value, and then, provide the ticker of that value. But regardless, yesterday, IMST for the win. So congrats to IMST. Reaction for the day, payday, baby, payday. So happy payday, as ETF Inspector says, happy payday. By the way, another YouTuber right there, ETF Inspector. I know he does his videos similar to mine. He does the other funds that I don't cover. Go check him out. Another family man like me, but I wake up early, do mine. He does his at night. So props to that. I don't think I'd be able to do it late at night like that. Anyway, payment information, synthetic income. What do we got? Well, this is actually where the video froze this morning. So I'm getting flashbacks here. Synthetic loss of 228 mil. So yeah, the synthetic's not doing too great. Weeklies, though, again, we have an income of 12.8 mil. That's pretty good. Again, we want to do a double check, right? We go over here, just make sure. Yep, 12.8 mil. So that works. Formulas are working. Total net income, unfortunately, the total net loss is 215 mil. So we'll ignore the income per share. We'll just focus on the short call per share. Again, this is based on the weeklies. They made about, so far, 6 cents per share. Scrolling down to, again, we're talking about what are they going to pay us? We're already thinking about the next round. What are they going to pay us? Well, if they make what they've been making, they're going to pay us 43 cents, but that's not going to happen. I would default right now to the IV. The IV is 55%, and that would be an 87-cent payment. Of course, they could boost it up. We know that. So they could pay $1 or something. But again, it's way too early to even talk about it. But if we needed to talk about it, these are the numbers. All right. Moving on to the holdings. How we doing? Well, what do we got here? We got a lot of crap, right? We got synthetics. We still have this call just chilling up here. The dude is in between. It's got the gold digger sandwich kind of. Although they sold most of the other gold digger. And I'm trying not to sing gold digger because, again, it gets a little loud, and I don't want to wake up the baby on that. Some of you are probably happy about that one. All right, so what do we got here for this week? Well, anything in black, those expire today. Anything in red are for next week. So where do we stand? Well, today our lowest strike price is 380. That is 3.04% out of the money. Is that safe? Well, lucky for you, I got some MSTR pre-market action. This is as of June 20th. It is up 1.74%. It's at 375.22 as we speak. So far, so good. It's still under the 380. But again, we have a whole trading day to go. So we'll see if we'll win all these trades. But again, it only goes up from here. They have a 382.50, a 385, and a 387.50. So they are kind of scattered-do, 3 to 5% out of the money. For next week, they are 4 to 9% out of the money. All right, moving on. Where do we stand? Well, let's take a look over here now. See the synthetic 420. We said peace. All right, we paid the gold digger. Pay the lady, as like we said, Storage Wars. And she's gone. All right, so what do we got left? The 390 and 2 370s. And they're just blah at the moment. The value of the MSTY fund, by the way, 4.5 billion still. The NAV is 2026. The trade price 2027. Total synthetic contracts being held 122,715. Total contracts they're selling covered calls on, about 81% of them, 100,475. What does that mean? That means, well, approximately 18-19% of them are uncapped. So uncappity-doodah, that's a good thing. So if MSTR goes to the moon today, 19% of those, the synthetic positions will be uncapped, right? So again, I kind of like that strategy in a way. I guess it depends. They have to see how things are, see where their IV is, see what MSTR is doing. I'm sure it's not easy. Credit call spreads, though, yeah, they don't have any. But again, when they have uncovered shares or uncovered contracts, maybe they don't need them as much, right? So again, it's a certain strategy. What's best, what's not, I don't know. Again, we pay them to tell us. All right, other funds, other competitors. Oh, I didn't pull up. Oh man, I gotta pull up MS2. Crap. MS2. All right, I'll do that tomorrow. Yeah, if I hit MS2, I'm gonna try to do it now. Rick shares MS. So, all right, first we'll go through IMST, then we'll go from there. What do they got going for today? Again, today's June 6th. So their calls 7 and 9% out of the money. So they seem pretty good spot for them. But again, they got calls that expire next week, the week after. So we'll see how it goes. And they do have synthetics. Again, little different strategy from MSTY, but overall idea is the same. MST, again, kind of, half leverage. So again, slightly different strategy, but yes, they're selling calls. One expires next week, and then this one expires today. The one that expires today is 3.72% out of the money. All right, so now what do we want to do? We want to add a sheet, right? And we're going to call it MS2 Holdings. And you see how we have this little, no, where is it? Up here. You got import, and then you put the website, and then you put what table it is. So I have the website. What table? 1, 2. Yeah, so here's the website. So if you look, this is a table, I think. That's a table. 3. Is that the whole 4? So 4. Let's see if it works. It worked last time. All right, so I'm going to copy this. All right. And put that here. But we want the we want this website. What do we say? Table 4. Sorry to waste your time on this, but I thought some of you may be interested in this. So we copy the website directly, paste it, and let's try table 4. Damn it. Well, it was a good try. How about table 3? Anything there? Yeah, something's not right. Do they use the HTTP? And they do HTTPS. HTTPS rec shares MS2 table 3. Does table 1 even work? All right, so yeah, I'm not sure. I tried. All right, I'm gonna have to keep going because I need one of my IT nerds on here to help me out with that later. All right, before we end MSTY though, I'm gonna go through some questions you guys had. And before that, I do see Kieran Rise, who's awesome. Very generous, very good dude. I think it's a dude. But he gifted 20 Retire on Dividends memberships. That is amazing. So thank you very much, Kieran. You the man. You the man, or woman, or please confirm. I don't want to call you a woman if you're a man. But I'm assuming you're a man because 95% of my audience is men. Yep, he's a dude. All right, good. All right, so anyway, let's get to the questions. All right, this is from BJ Minkst. I think I have a basic understanding of the calls and puts, essentially brackets around the same share price, but could you explain what you mean by the synthetic? What is it? what it does and what is it good for. Well, what is it good for? It's basically they want to track the movement. They want to move with the underlying. MSTR is the underlying. So there's a couple options, right? One of which is just buying the shares. But what they do is they create a synthetic position. When they buy the call, that'll mimic, the upside of MSTR. When they sell the put, right? That's when, that's what brings the downside, right? So if they only bought the call, that the expense, obviously they would have to pay. What the hell happened? How'd that come up? They would have to pay. I need that to go away, actually. It should be on the other page. I'm not used to this freaking there you go. All right. Sorry, I'm losing my train of thought now. I don't know what the hell's going on. But yeah, they do a buy call sell put, and the idea is, between the two, obviously the expense is, minimized because you get a credit when selling the put. But once you sell the put, if MSTR goes down, the value of the fund goes down because of the put. And buy call, the value of MSTR, if it goes up, obviously the call becomes more valuable. But the point of the synthetic is basically to replace, buying the shares, because they don't want to spend all their cash to buy the shares. They want to use their cash to do this, to buy treasuries, right? To have government, whatever, this fund here, because these earn interest, right? So why not get interest on that money instead of having it sit in MSTR? So when they create that synthetic position, as soon as they do, that will move up and down with MSTR. I'm sure plus or minus. I'm sure it's off by a little, but ideally it does track the movement of the underlying. I don't know if that helped BJ Minkst, but let me know. Wood C4, can you explain how the increase of other similar funds affects MSTY and why competition is bad? Well, competition is not bad, so I'm not sure where you heard that. Competition is great, actually, because it'll only make them better, right? Wrestling reference, WCW Monday Nitro, right? Remember they came up and they whooped Monday Night Raw's ass? Yep. That made Raw 10 times better, and eventually Raw took them out, right? WWE bought WCW. I know people love the wrestling references, but competition is good. So that kind of defeats. I really can't answer your question now because I don't agree that competition is bad, but competition is sweet. But thank you for the question, Wood C. Stephen Niles, video question. Again, if you type video question, I'll pull it up. If you have a question and you don't type video question, I'm not pulling it up. Can we save the info? Yeah, Rod. Then I'll forget, Rod L. The other Rod. He's getting cranky. All right, I'll make this quick. Could you remind us how much TSLY has returned of capital this year and whether that may affect the distribution amount? I noticed SMCY paid less than many of us expected, which I assume is due to ROC this year. Will TSLY do the same next week? I believe MSTY paid better than expected because the ROC was low. How significantly will Tesla sell off? Well, again, if you want to see the estimated ROC, you can just go to the website under each fund and track that. And I believe they do cover that now with the distribution announcement. But again, those are estimated return of capital percentages. So, and they typically strive to pay at least what the IV is. They try to pay whatever that IV is. That's the yield, annualized yield. If they do make a little more, then sometimes they pay more. If they hold back an amount like PLTY, sure, they could use that for the next payment. But TSLY, again, if you're just continuing to pay return of capital, then obviously there's not going to be that big chunk of a payment unless somehow like the synthetic does make bank in one of the months. All right. I don't know. Hopefully that helped. All right. So that's it for that. Let me gray this sucker out so we can move on with our lives. Sorry for the delay. Again, I'm not even used to going live on these videos. Plus, I'm out of whack this morning. So let's get to the rest of the trades. So going back to the top, TSLY had trades. What did they do? Well, buy to close, 4 cents. Buy to close, 4 cents. Buy to close, 6 cents. Buy to close, 2 cents. So obviously they're closing out some trades, and they closed out a lot of trades, and they opened new ones for next week for June 13th expiration. And we could see how far out of the money they went on that on the spreadsheet. All right. So TSLY, here we go. How did they perform yesterday? Well, not good. Not good, man. They again, whatever, the freaking tweet war, this and that, whatever. It went down 16.63%. That is brutal. TSLY pretty much went down with it. TSLY went down 16.36%. Wow. I mean, that's pretty bad. All right. So how are their synthetics doing? Sorry, I need water. I'm dying here. All right. Looking at the live, we have 178 of you. I just want to say again, thank you for joining. So I can't see who got the memberships from Kieran, but let me know. But yeah, thank you, Kieran. Synthetic wise, we have a 320, a 335, and a 340. All of them expire July 18th. All right. So did they close out any of the synthetics? No, they just added to the I call sell put 335. So yeah, okay. So they added to the 335. This is a new position, 600. No, okay. Yeah, no, that's right. They had 200 yesterday, and they added another 400. So, but either way, how are these synthetics doing? And not good, man, not good. I mean, they're pretty much gold diggers. If I wasn't, the baby wasn't sleeping, I'd be singing gold digger probably most of this video. Look at that, man. Ooh. See what I mean? This is what I was talking about with the synthetic, right? When the underline goes down, this is a negative number, which pushes the value, right? The value of the overall, ETF price to go down. Similarly, we have the buy call, which becomes less valuable. So both things kind of happen at the same time. All right. So anyway, how are our calls looking for today? You think we're going to win? Let's see. Cletus, come on, Cletus, come on. All right, what do we got here? Our lowest strike is 352.50, and good God, 23% out of the money. I think we're good. What do you guys think? 365, 28% out of the money. 372.50, 30% out of the money. So again, they left some open, probably for shits and giggles, right? But hey, if Tesla goes up today, which it looks like it's going up, pre-market it's up 9% right now, then they'll capture the full upside, at least for these contracts. For next week, though, they are 10 to 26% out of the money. Seeing a 22, 26% out of the money, this tells me that they closed out a lot of their positions early in the dip, because Tesla dipped and it dipped and it dipped. As the back and forth continued, Tesla just dropped and dropped and dropped. Craziness, man. Crazy. All right, so let's keep going. Let's get to the bottom. Unfortunately, we have to kick TSLY out of the $1 billion club, and we have to call them a loser, as we used to. So sorry, TSLY, you're out. You got the boot, man. You got the boot, bro. I'm sure you'll be back tomorrow, though. All right. Anyway, the NAV of TSLY is 767, which yuck. And the closing trade price yesterday, 770, 3-cent gap. But again, who cares about that? Synthetic, yeah, negative. 30-day IV, though, of Tesla, 76%. That's nice, very nice. IV estimate based on that, 45 cents. However, income estimate, pretty good. $1.48. So if they actually pay that, that's a 250% yield. So we know they're not paying that. Group A declares in 5 days, which is next week, June 11th. So stay tuned for the guesstimate on the Sunday video. All right, great. Yippee. All right, NVIDIA's next, but yes, of course, they had trades. So let's go to the trade file. Here we go. What they do? Buy to close. $3.23. Let's see the strike. Well, that's interesting. It closed. NVIDIA closed at around 140, and they closed this one for a loss. So the time was not on their side. All right, time was not on their side. Neither with this one either. Oh boy, 324. Ooh, 434. So they lost on these trades. But who knew NVIDIA was going to go down, I guess? Was this pre-tweet war maybe? This one's at 139. All right, so the stock price was above that one. There's also time value left over. There's a whole day of trading. But yeah, for the most part, they lost. They lost. NVIDIA lost. All right, let's keep going. And let's get to the file. NVIDIA, they actually didn't go down that much. They only went down 1.38% yesterday. NVIDIA went down 1.07%. Let's go take a look at their synthetics. They got a 120 and a 130. NVIDIA's at 139.99, set price, right? So their synthetics are doing rather well. Now, if we look at their covered calls for the week, if I can get the proper zoomage here. Here we go, right there. All right, so the lowest strike is 142, right? Lowest strike, 142, is 1.44% out of the money. The highest strike for today, 146, 4.29% out of the money. Is this safe? Well, I don't know. Let's see. If we go to here, we go NVDA. They are up 0.44%. So as of right now, they look pretty damn good. All right. What about for next week? They are 5 and 6% out of the money. So really not much wiggle room, man. We'll see. The value of NVIDIA, 1.5 bill. The NAV, 1584. Trade price, 1587. Synthetic is worth about $1.76 per share. So that's very nice. 30-day IV, 36%. IV estimate based on that, 45 cents. Income estimate, $1.33, which is pretty sweet. Group B declares in 12 days, though, so we got some time on June 18th. Up next is your boy, Mr. Conehead. What did you do to your cone? All right, so here's Coin and CONY. But first, let's go take a look at their trades. Scroll down here. There we go. All right, so they did a buy to close, 21 cents. Winner, winner. Buy to close, 48 cents. Winner, winner. Buy to close, 23 cents. Winner, winner. So they closed out some of their calls for this week, and they rolled those suckers into next week. So looking good so far. Coin, though, you know, they kind of got beat up yesterday. They went down 4.83%. CONY only went down 3.89%. So I say only, but it's in comparison, you know, to the underlying. All right, so the synthetic for that CONY holds for coin, that expires June 20th. So that's coming up. It's a 250, but coin is at 244. So it's going to be a close one. We'll see if, you know, what the cash out brings. Now, as far as today, again, today's expiration date, right? For most of these, at least the top ones, the lowest strike price is 255. That is 4.42% of the money. The highest strike is 9.54% of the money. So it could go either way. But I guess the question is, what does pre-market look like, right? So I will pull that up for you. I got you. I got you. Coin is up 1.74%. If I scroll down and show you, see right here, it's up 1.74% in the pre-market. It's at 248.46, which is below the lowest strike. So far, so good. All right, moving right along, guys. We'll get there. Don't worry. 642 already. The value of the CONY fund is 1.1 bill. The NAV is 769, and the trade price is 771. Synthetic is worth negative, so that's unfortunate. 30-day IV, 52%. IV estimate based on that, 31 cents. Income estimate is 12 cents. And that's, but again, they got 19 days. Their next deck date is June 25th. Up next is the SMCY suckers. All right, so let's take a look how they're doing. We used to cover all the trades on the Friday morning, but we don't do that anymore. We ain't got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. All right, SMCY, how you doing? All right, buy the close. Yep, 5 cents winner, 5 cents winner, 6 cents winner. So, yep, they won their trades. So, good job, SMCY. You did it. You did it. You won. You won. You won. All right. How did SMCY do yesterday? Well, not good at all, actually. Pretty bad. It went down 8.24%, as you can see right here. SMCY, between that and next dividend date, I mean, good God, they went down 14%. So, ouchie, ouchie, ouchie. Did anyone buy SMCY yesterday? I mean, 18 bucks. I mean, good Lord. All right. SMCY, the current price of SMCY is at 40 bucks. The SMCY synthetic that expires June 20th is at 45. I need water. Hold on. Bathroom break incoming. What do we got there? So, we'll see. That synthetic, things aren't looking good, but we'll see. As far as today is concerned for SMCY, they have one stinking strike. 20,000 contracts, though. That's a lot. So we want to win this one. It's 4.24% out of the money. They have a 42.50. So the question is, SMCY pre-market, how you doing? Well, let's see, buddy. Let's see. Here we go. We're going to click it. 41.53. They're up 1.86%. 41.53. Let's see. 42.50. All right. So far, so good. All right. Next week, we got 7 to 17% out of the money. So stay tuned for that. All right. Scrolling down to the bottom. The value of the SMCY fund is weak sauce. It's only 183 mil. The NAV is 1818. Trade price 1820. Synthetic on the paper is a negative, unfortunately. 30-day IV, 71%. IV estimate based on that. $1. I got a dollar. I got a dollar. I got a dollar. Hey, 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 hey. Income estimate is not updated. Again, I'll update that on tomorrow's video once all of the group values get updated. So basically, I don't know if you guys care, but I know as of Saturday, they're going to have every single thing in Group D will have a trade. And by the way, I think the Berkshire fund is in Group A, I believe. So I'll have to do that too. I'll have to add that sucker. I mean, there's no way they're paying. They're in Group A, but whatever. All right, where were we? Where were we? We were on SMCY. But yeah, Group D declares in 26 days. Up next is a P to the L to the T to the Y. But you know what? I think I'm going to take a bathroom break. All right, talk amongst yourselves. I will be right back. We are back. We are back. We are back. We're the three best friends that anyone can have. We're the three best friends that anyone can have. We're the three best friends that anyone can have. All right, anyway. Palantir, how you doing? Yep, rough. But first, let's take a look at their trades. Let's take a look. We got this. We got this. BRK, yeah, Group A. Yep. I heard I was watching Bad Financial Decisions. She said that yesterday. Shout out to Amy over there. Give her a go check out her channel and her YieldMax website, which is taking over the world, right? All right, here's PLTY and the trades. By the close, 10 cents. That's a winner. By the close, 11 cents. By the way, I assume you can hear me right now. If not, yell and scream. By the close, 9 cents. By the close, let me keep going. Yep, they won their trades. All right, they won their trades. They won. All right, nothing more to talk about on here. How did they win? Well, look, Palantir went down 8.42%. All right, that's a lot. That's a lot. PLTY went down 7.5%. So that's also a lot. So if we take a look here, Palantir, current price, 119.91. PLTY synthetic is still sitting pretty, even after that beat down, because it's a 115 strike that expires, though, July 18th. Now, as far as today is concerned, are we going to win? Are we going to win this contract? Yeah, I mean, probably. It's a 130. It's 8.41% out of the money. What is the pre-market, though? I mean, I don't know. Do you know? But again, this is at the time of the video, which is 6:49 a.m. They are up 2.13%, and they are at 122.47. So if you go back over here, that is below the 130. So yeah, pretty nice. They're probably going to be winner, chicken freaking dinner. But we'll see how next week goes too. The value of the PLTY fund is 493 mil. So they are now out of the half bill club. The NAV is 60.56, trade price 60.53. Synthetic on paper, still worth $291 per share. 30-day IV, 62% IV estimate based on that, $293. Group P, they declare in 12 days on June 18th. So stay tuned for that. All right, so that that kind of wraps up the coverage on the YieldMax funds. If you guys have questions in the comment that are here live, all 218 of you, if you have questions on what we just covered, leave them down below and we can go through that. Again, that's the beauty of going live. I'm not going to go too long though, because I still have to cover my options trades. So yeah, let me know if you guys have any questions or if it was clear as day, or as they say, clear as mud, right? All right, so I'll pull up the options spreadsheet while you guys are thinking about questions. Here's a request. Can you make shorts version on these instead of 40 minutes? No, because I don't, I have time to make this video and barely enough time to post it. So I can't make, all these different shorts about it, because obviously, yeah, if I have the time, throwing a random one here and there, I guess that would be cool. But it's a good idea though, to to piecemeal. I don't know. It's just, believe me, long term, I want to do stuff like that. Like I want to do quick updates too, like throughout the day. I'll do like a quick short, But yeah, man, in due time. I barely have time for this. I think you guys know that by now. Hey, this is from and thank you for the comment, BB Hong. Sydney Simon, any update on the new prospectus? I have no idea what new prospectus you are referencing. LA, yes, I do daily updates on X. Are you on there? You must be. I don't think I remember seeing you on there. But anyway, who else? Okay. Hey, M, thank you. Swaps. Yeah, they could do swaps now. They're just not, they don't need to, right? They don't need to utilize it. So we'll see it though in the intraday trades when they do. All right, so I'm going to go through my options trades real quick for yesterday and where I stand heading into today. So yesterday, I think we all know the market took a dump. So TSLL, I mean, it was ugly. it was super ugly, like really ugly, like beyond ugly, like disgusting. So what happened? I sold puts. When it was at 12.22, I sold a put at $10. That was 18% out of the money at the time. And that was a delta of 0.14, and it paid me about 21 cents. That is also a 95% yield, and it continued to go down. And it was at 11.37 when I sold another put. And this time I'm in single digits. I sold a put at $9, 20% out of the money. That was a 0.14 delta, and it paid me about 23 cents per share. But unfortunately, TSLL continued to go down. I didn't really have time to do another put, but this put paid me about 116%. So today's June 6th. What do I have expiring today? Well, on the put side, let me scroll over to see TSLL pre-market. I don't know if you can see the screen. It's up 8%. It's at 1060. All right. So this put here, this expires today. $13 strike price. That is in the money, very in the money. Do I want this to get assigned, or do I want to roll it? I don't know. I have to think about it, actually. And then what else? I got covered calls. Are any of these in danger? I have a 20, a 21, a 14. Remember, that thing was in danger last week. Now it's not in danger. TSLL is at $10 freaking dollars. So this thing's actually going to expire worthless, probably. Look at that. 18, 17, and so none of the calls are really in danger. The 14 is the closest one. So we'll see how that plays out. And then I need to make a decision. Do I want to be assigned 100 shares at $13 a share? I don't know yet. I have to make that decision, obviously, by end of day. Okay. Total weekly income for TSLL, trading options on TSLL, is $115. Again, that's not really that much money. So it is what it is. We'll get there. Again, I'm trying to hit about 4. What's the goal? It's on the MSTY tab. Scroll down here. 466 is what I want to hit per week. All right, TNA. Yesterday was the 5th. TNA. This looks like I started to sell a call and I never did, so I'll delete that. So TNA was down 2. They were barely down, right? They were at 30.30. I thought I sold it. Maybe I didn't sell a call. So I sold a put on TNA for $26 strike price, and that was 14% out of the money at the time. The delta was really low, 0.10. It only paid 20 cents, but I figured it was worth the risk, and it yielded me about 35%. So that was yesterday's trade. Now, as far as what expires today, TNA in the pre-market is up 1%. It's at about $30.84. I sold a put here, $26 strike. That is not in danger at the moment. And let's check out my calls. I got a 33 and a 32 and a 31. Remember this 31? This was a degen play, if you recall. They're at 30.85, so it's going to be close. I will make a decision. I'll probably roll this, actually, if it's in danger. I'll roll this call into next week. All right. So decisions. Now, how much money have I made with TNA this week? Only $126. So not nearly enough. So if you add up the two income sources, I only made $241. Obviously, my goal is over 400, and that's not. Actually, I should put that here, just so we have it. We can do like weekly goal, and then shortfall. So we do like this. But we do like this. Ready? If that minus that is less than 0, then 0. If not, then we do L. That's what we'll do. That's what we'll do. That's what we'll do. So you do that. Yep, it'll just be 0, 0. Well, actually, this will have to be a freeze on the amount. Sorry. I'm playing around. So I need $225 today to hit my goal. That's not happening. But I certainly will try. I am losing my voice, by the way, like bad. All right, I'm going to go to the comments before we call it a day. It's almost 7 a.m. anyway. And I will pull up the the indexes because we all love them. All right, I'm continuing on from the last question. All right, so keep going. Pistol Pete, I assume that's from Best Man. The X updates are good to see. I'm on there. All right. Hopefully you like and retweet those, right? Not just ugly, fugly. All right. Who's fugly? Everything was Elon. Is that a new verb? Options X question. Can you show an example of entering a rolling order in your options sheet? Well, I mean, the only thing I could really show here is that I just like for for TSLL, for example. Well, actually, let's use TNA. TNA for this call here is 31. Where is it? We have a $31 call. If TNA goes above 31, I'm going to select create rolling order in my brokerage. First, I have to select on this options trade. And then on the bottom, at least on the app for Thinkorswim, I click create rolling order. And then it defaults to next week. So it already sets it up for me. It keeps the same strike, but it chooses the next expiration by default. If I wanted to change anything from there, I would do it. But typically, I leave it, and I would just roll it 1 week out. I'd give it another week, and I'd get the credit, and then I'd move on. So the create rolling order would close out this one. It would be a buy to close call and a sell to open, on the new call. So that would be essentially the rolling order, kind of what YieldMax does. Oh, all right. ETF inspector, you're an options guy? I didn't even know that. That's awesome. All right. Steel, man. He's selling 10x. He's always he's a baller, man. Steel. You're the options king over there. All right. How about some DGen moves? Roll way out of the money, cover calls down today to grab a couple more bucks. Hey, you know what? That's not a bad idea, actually. I didn't even think about that. So you're talking about rolling this down. Yeah. Like a 34. It's not in danger. Man, I'm really losing my voice. That's actually Jupiter. Really, really good idea. I'm not sure how much money I'd actually get, though. But I will check it out to see if it's actually worth it. If it's pennies, probably not. Eugene Vasquez, yes, he's a YouTuber as well. Shout out to him. He said that the big, beautiful bill will add 5% per year to the 15% withholding tax for overseas investors. Oh, wow. That's not good for anyone not in the U.S. What options work better if you settled for a lower return since you may not? Yeah, of course. Absolutely, Wolf. That's why, it's okay to have a goal, but at the same time, you don't want to force yourself to do things. But I'm trying to make my goal, I don't think that's that aggressive, to be honest. Like $466 a week. It's really not that aggressive if you think about it. But I don't know. But yeah, if it was like 200, then yeah, I could play it very, very safe. But I am already playing it safe. So I just, here and there, I got to do degen plays regardless because I'm a freaking degenerate in heart. Good morning. Just really good. How do we like 2x PLTZ? I don't know, man. The only leverage funds I use are the indexes, and then outside of that, it's TSLL. Steele said Cindy Simon, good idea. Bought a lot of TSLL. Good, man. Yesterday, I hope. All right, LA Appliance, I'll see you later. I'll see you on your live or your premiere. I'm an OG NBA fan, so my name stolen from Pete. Oh, okay. I was just watching the Celtics. What they're freaking, I don't know. They had something on HBO Max. Well, I didn't finish it, but I'm still working on it. Old school stuff there. Let's see what else we got. Yeah, it sounds like an inverse. Jupiter says, I've got a Tesla 350-250 call. We'll try to roll down to 310 during the day. Okay, let's see what Tesla's at. See if that's a good move. Tesla is at 296. So yeah, 310. That's a decent cushion, I think. But yeah, let me know if you're in the Discord. Tag me in the options trading channel. Let me know how you're doing that. That's a big jump down. So yeah, you should get something decent for that. But that's pretty good. Again, this is why we talk to each other. We all have, certain ideas, certain things that help others and help each other. I think I'm done though. I gotta get moving, actually get my ass going. But I need another sip of water. Yeah, I'm screwed for work. I still got a whole day of talking. So, as always, this is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. This video is for fun and entertainment. So hopefully you had fun. Hopefully you're entertained. If not, come back tomorrow and we shall entertain you. We won't be, well, we might not be live. I don't know. Maybe. You guys want me to go live tomorrow? Or is it better pre-recorded? Let me know in the comments. Also, if you enjoy this content, please hit the like button. And if you have any questions or concerns, leave them down below. If you have a question that you want me to answer during the video, you would type in video question, followed by, of course, the question. And then outside of that, we're just going to talk about keywords. So any of you in the live stream, get ready, start typing your keywords. But if you made it this far in the video and you want to prove it, you got to say the keyword. Again, I have no voice. I can't even talk anymore. So, what is today's keyword? Come on, guys. You got to give me something. But yeah, for those of you new to the channel, if you made it this far in the video and you want to prove it, you got to type down in the comments the keyword. But I guess I'm just going to go with live. The keyword is live. So if you made it this far in the video and you want to prove it, you got to type in live. Yeah, cough is also good, or no voice is good. But yeah, it's too much talking. Obviously, you can get your destroy your voice, because I'm on the phone all day at work, and then I'm doing this all the time. So then, hence my voice sometimes goes bye bye. Cage match, Donald Trump versus Elon. Yeah, crazy, man, crazy. Live coffee. Well, the keyword's already live. So anyway, for those of you that joined on the live stream, thank you very much. Special thanks to to Kieran, who gifted 20 memberships. I appreciate that. And thank you guys who watched after the fact as well. And I know it's not as fun if you watch it after the fact and I go live. It's kind of like, delays a little because I do go over some comments. But either way, I appreciate you guys watching. So thank you and have a great day. Later.